Hello, welcome to Daily Smith Summit News. This is News Channel. We're going to talk about when Smith Summit will happen. Today we have a surprise guest, one of the ones to which weren't planned. However, I'm glad that they made them. You might recognize them from when I interviewed them earlier, where the plans for their booth are still as unknown as today. Please welcome Catter.
Hello, my name is Catter and I am from the Stardust Labs booth.
Yeah, so welcome to the show. I'm glad that you wanted to be here. Would you like to introduce your booth, and I mean you already did, but yourself to the community?
Yeah, absolutely. I am the technical lead at Stardust Labs, and today I will be talking about a little bit about our booth that we're bringing to Smith Summit. The main focus of our booth is, of course, our World Gen data packs, Terralith, Incendium, and Nullscape, the big three that we have. So our booth in the main level will be all about Terralith. We'll show off the biomes, show off a bit about who we are, and even bring you to a little secret area that you'll find out later. In our basement, we will show off Incendium, which is currently undergoing a big rewrite. There will be a bunch of new items, better performance, new biomes, and we can't wait to show you all there is. And then finally, at the very top, we'll have a little homage to Nullscape, and then throughout our booth you can find scatterings of our different packs, such as Structury, Continents, and maybe more.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool to hear. So, like I mentioned earlier, I talked about how you have been interviewed previously for the actual Smith channel that was, where I talked about a little bit about your like thoughts on data pack features, a little bit about Booth Summit, and I think in general. So this time around, it will be sort of the same. However, I plan to twist up with a couple new questions, actually based on what you say in this interview. And I joked a little bit about your booth being in the same state it was before. However, from what I have heard and seen, you made a lot of progress, which is really cool to hear. And I know that one of the things was actually a community effort where you got a bunch of people to make graffiti, didn't you? Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny because for me, was very busy for about a month, and I could not work on the booth at all. But we have a couple of other people on the team working on the booth, mainly Volt and Emma, who gathered around and was working on the booth. And I turned around, and all of a sudden, they've got a whole, all the people in the summit are helping us out, which is great. So we have on the side wall of our booth a ton of graffiti showing off content from all the other booths. So one thing I love about it is it's even though we have completely different data packs or maps or mods even being showcased at Summit, we all come together and we're a great community who all want to help each other out. And it's been a lot of fun to work with everybody.
So I know that it's really cool to see that there's all these different booths that you've been interacting with, and that's one of my favorite parts about Summit this time around is all these people interacting with each other. I know there's like a bunch of new projects, a bunch of old projects, even a new one which shares almost the same name with you, which is really funny to see. But talking about these, is there any that have really caught your eye this year as something that you think's really cool?
Well, I remember when I did the interview with you last month or two. I know my answer was the air bikes booth because was kind of cool to see how it works. Um, and I'll be honest, I haven't been looking around too much at the other packs yet. But oh, it's hard. I will say one thing I've learned a lot about is from animated Java booth. I am excited to learn a bit more about them because, as I was mentioning before, how we're all going together. There's been voice chats that we've been in and just hanging around, and from animated Java, Snave and Zella have been hanging around, and I've learned a bit about Blockbench and animated Java from them, Will and Call, which I was never expecting to learn. I'm not a modeler. I don't not very good artist, so I actually got to learn some stuff from them. So I guess my answer would be animated Java, just to learn more about what that can do and how much of an impact they've had on the data pack community.
Yeah, well, that's really cool to hear. From the last interview, you've learned a lot more about some of the booths, some of the people, and that's really pleasant to hear. And I know that you actually are a returning group of people from last summit, which you also had quite a major booth with a bunch of interesting features and whatnot. And I just want to ask, how is the experience and coming back to summit this time, and what sort of drove you to actually want to return for another summit?
Well, first of all, of course I wanted to return because Summit is such a cool thing, but I don't need to explain that. Everybody watching this interview already knows that. I will say the difference between this summit and last summit, it is pretty big. I remember the first summit we was kind of brought on because we're Stardust Labs. We're a big name and we can advertise Summit a lot. And we were given a very central booth in the SmackDab Center, because we're a big name. And that was nice and all, but the downside is we didn't have as much room to innovate. We were kind of stuck to a smallish plot. We had a similar style to our neighbors, and it was cool, but a little bit limiting. This year, because of how Summit's set up, we're able to pick a spot that's perfect for us, that represents us. We have room to expand, to innovate. We have so many cool ideas that we're able to do now because we're not forced to be smack dab in the center with in the main area. So it's cool to be able to have a pretty much completely different experience than last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to hear that this new something is actually quite like a refreshing experience for both you and the projects in general. And I know that we talked a little bit about your booth and whatnot, and about both this time and last time, and how that you've changed a little bit about it. And I would like to hear, is there a part of your booth which, from last time that I interviewed you, you think is now your favorite, or is it still what you mentioned?
Last time when we were interviewing, we were mostly in the planning stage, and we had a lot of cool ideas. And unfortunately, I do have to say, we weren't able to do all the cool ideas. You think you have them, but then you run out of time, get busy. But that doesn't mean that we're disappointed in our booth. Actually, it's turning out really well, and we have some really cool things. I remember last summit, we were kind of rushed at the end. We didn't have much time. So our booth was very static. It was a building with some signs, some display entities, and a picture. But now we actually have a lot of interactive elements. You'll be able to explore, to try out our weapons from Incendium inside the booth. You'll be able to experience Terralith biomes in real time. There will be a lot more interactive elements, which I'm really excited to show off.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. So we've talked a lot about your booth now, your projects, even a lot about Summit. So, and I know you mentioned that Stardust Labs is a group and a team of people that all have worked on this. Is there any people that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I can't forget to mention Starmute, who is the founder of Stardust Labs, the creator of all the projects. He's the mastermind behind all of it, and he's the reason why everyone loves our packs. But of course, there's a lot of other people behind the scenes. Whale, who is our main builder, he's built so many structures for Terralith and Incendium. Um, Also, Botany, who's the creator of Structury, who's made amazing structures that, believe it or not, Structury is one of our most popular mods or data packs. It's included in many, many mod packs, and it gets some of the most downloads. So it's a testament to how good of structures Botany makes. Additionally, we have Terra, who has made a lot of structures for Incendium, also kept up with their wiki. I can't forget to mention Ray, who has pretty much taken over most of the development for Incendium, keeping the port updated while working on the rewrite. Along with Ray on the Incendium rewrite, we have Lime, Renan, and Destroyer, who have been hard at work working on the boss fights and the world gen and all that. Um, and especially for our booth too, I can't forget to mention Vault and Emma, who have been working mostly on our booth, also getting our community together to work on everything. But we just have there's so many people. We recently went through a contributor list. We have about 50 contributors over the past um, 5 years or so, plus the people who have worked on our wiki, also people who have worked on our Stardust MC community server, such as Kuma, who is the main admin of it. And there are so many other people that I could try to name all of them, but we would be here all day.
Yeah, I mean, that's very cool to hear that you've got such a massive contributing community to all of these different projects and just every aspect about it, really. So, make sure to provide any links I've provided will be in the description. If you'd like to check out more about Stardust Labs and their projects, make sure to look down there for more. Yeah, I think this went very well. And is there anything that you would like to say to the audience as a closing remark?
Yes, Smith Summit is August 8th through 22nd. Be there or else. There's so many booths to check out. And don't think it'll be a day thing. It will take you many days to go through all the booths. Bring a friend, explore together. See if you can complete all the stickers. There's so much things to explore for the booth, and I haven't even mentioned all the panels, the side events. It's going to be a blast. Come hang out for the 2 weeks we're up and running and just have fun.
That's good to hear. So thanks for tuning up to this interview. I appreciate it. There has been news on the Smith Summit, and I'll speak with you all tomorrow.